he still thinks he could win or could have won against Trump. Can you believe that? Oh my God, his wife is a big liar. She lied about how capable he was all through his campaign. Of course, the Ukraine-Russia war it's been going on for 3.5 years now, and it's just a horrible, horrible war. So many people have been killed on both sides, and Trump thought he could bring them to the table, but he hasn't so far. You have to give him credit. He has talked to Putin, which Biden never did, and he's continuing to talk to Zelensky, president of Ukraine, and even Biden did talk to him. He came over, spoke to full House and Senate meeting, and they gave him a standing ovation and everything. But we can't get Russia to the table, but there's some interesting information about Russia. I'm going to play a video for you in a minute. There's a comparison between Russia and the Roman Empire when it collapsed. The Roman Empire was very, very successful in expanding out and taking over countries and making them slaves, many of them slaves, taking money from all these various towns and countries, and Rome was filthy rich. In Rome, whatever you wanted, you got it. The big things were oil to pour all over you, and baths, public baths, all that, and food and wine, and that was, and they didn't work much. All the residents of Rome were living like that. And finally, all these cities realized they don't have anything around the world, around the Roman world, around the Roman Empire. And they started to revolt one by one, more and more, until they finally overtook Rome and collapsed the Roman Empire. This fellow I'm showing you, he has some comparisons with how that could happen and why that could happen in Russia.
What is going on in Russia is very simple. Like the citizens of Rome, Russia has been working very hard to create an artificial sense of prosperity surrounding the war in Ukraine. And this is not an accident by any means, but it is actually a multi-decade plan and a multi-decade design. Russia didn't invade Ukraine overnight, of course. It was a multi-year process that started at least as early as the Russian annexation of Crimea in 2014, and likely even before that. And the Russian invasion and annexation of portions of Ukraine happened in stages that the Russian government was very prepared for, or at least they thought they were prepared for. The plan was that when they did their full-scale invasion of Ukraine about 3 years ago, that invasion would be over quickly, and that they would come out on top, basically controlling all of Ukrainian territory. But they knew that would still be expensive for them. Not as expensive as it has been, but they still knew it was going to be expensive.
And in trying to cover all these important things that are going on, the Israeli-Gaza war, that continues to not be very good news there. Even the last 24 hours, Israel has brought their army further into Gaza, taken over more of it, because Hamas will not surrender, and they won't return all the hostages. If they returned all of the hostages at one point, just definite, that would stop. Israel has said they would stop coming in and bombing and everything. But all these people that are demonstrating in this country, backing Hamas, ought to realize Hamas is the reason all these people are dying. Now, it's sure an unfavorable war. 1,000 or more died that were Israelis, and close to 50,000 Palestinians died. Everyone says that's so unfair, so unfair. What's Israel to do? They were attacked. They were told by Hamas they're going to attack again and again and again. They don't care what happens, and they hide behind their families. It's a very difficult situation. Usually, by this point, the enemy would surrender. So we've got to get some help from other countries in talking to these idiots, and I don't know who that would be. Iran's the only one that can talk to them, and we're not in good terms with Iran, although Trump is trying to start working things out with them if they're willing to work with us. So we'll see what happens there. The only other negative thing that came up is Qatar has offered a big 747 plane to the United States to be used as Air Force One. Now, you may remember back in Trump's first term, he negotiated a new plane for the presidency. And he even said it wouldn't be done by the end of his term, but for the next president, it would be ready. And Boeing, who was making this plane, has taken so long, it's still a number of years away. I mean, that's horrible, isn't it? So I got a little story to tell you about timing. So anyway, Qatar, the Middle East country, has offered this plane to the United States to be used as Air Force One. It's already a beautiful, beautiful plane. It's very opulent. But the deal is, when Trump leaves office, it goes to him. The problem with that is it's bribery, and I can't stand that. I even made a statement on Facebook yesterday. Please, President Trump, don't do this deal. We don't need these negativity. So many good things are going. We don't need something dumb and negative like that. I hope he doesn't do it. On to other things. Good news, prescription drugs. For years, the pharmaceutical companies have been cutting deals with other countries on prices of prescription drugs, but they make up for it by charging the United States more, because I'll tell you a little story there. A fellow I used to play golf with was a senior executive, one of the big pharmaceutical companies. I can't remember which one. But anyway, I said, Vic, how come the same medicine I get here is such and such, but Canada has it so much lower? He said, well, Canada buys as a whole country, it's quantity. And he said, so do the other countries. I said, well, it's being unfair to your own country. We're having to pay that. And he changed the subject. He didn't want to talk about it. But that was 15 years ago I was talking about that to him. And Trump found this out. He's used an example. One of his friends is on that, what he called it, the fat pill. And he was over in Europe, in London, and he had to buy it there because he ran out. And he said to President Trump, hey, how come I pay $80 for this pill over here and it's $1,300 in the States? Trump didn't have an answer for that, looked into it. So now he is signing an executive order reducing all prescription drugs here, and other countries are going to have to raise theirs to make up for it. I don't know how he makes that follow through. It's a little bit complicated, but we'll hear more about it. At least the effort is there. He's recognized that something's going to get better because he has recognized it. So we'll find out how that ends. Biden was on The View again the other day. What a mess. Here's a clip from it.
Mr. President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources, that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities in the final year of your presidency. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that, number one. Number two, think of what we were left with. We were left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started, not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, ended up over 1 million people dying. And we're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And one of the things that
and Alyssa, one of the things I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us, and they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day. I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed, reading my book, and he was still on the phone reading his briefings, working with staff. I mean, it was nonstop. It's the White House. Being president is not like a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a life that you live. You live it 24 hours a day. That phone can ring at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. It's constant. You never leave it. And Joe worked really hard. I think he was a great president. And if you look at things today,
he still thinks he could win, or could have won against Trump. Can you believe that? Oh my God, his wife is a big liar. She lied about how capable he was all through his campaign. And we're so lucky we don't have him, and lucky we don't have Harris. She was terrible as well. I want to finish with this little clip of Senator Schumer showing how he's such a fool. He was making an announcement about Trump putting him down. Watch this.
The polls this week show Trump has the lowest 100-day approval rating since they started polling 80 years ago. The lowest. Yes.
There's a poll out today that has your approval rating lower than any other congressional leader at 17%. Are you concerned that you may be a liability for your party?
Polls come and go. Our party is united. We're on our front foot. We're stepping forward and going after Trump and having real success.
Put him in his place. Polls come and go. Hey, what an idiot. So that's all for now, folks. And thanks for listening in. Don't forget to subscribe. And I don't care, but you could put a little like on there. Likes always help too. So goodbye for now.